3D Systems short interest has declined by 42% from its 52-week high. Hi fools, I'm Steve Heller, and today we're talking the decline in short interest in 3D Systems stock and what it can mean for the stock going forward. So back in August, 3D Systems short interest stood at over 28 million shares, which is about 28% of the company's shares outstanding. Fast forward to December 13th, which is the most recent reading, short interest declined to 16.1 million shares, or about 16% of the company's shares outstanding. During the same time, the stock has almost doubled in value, which sort of shows you that short interest declining can actually have a big impact on stock prices. So what short interest is, it's a number of shares that have been sold short and are still open positions on the market. When you're shorting a stock, you're betting in a decline in value. So what it indicates is actually sentiment towards the stock. So the higher the level of short interest, the higher the level of collective bearishness facing a company. So let's revisit why the bearish thesis has actually been breaking down. But before we do that, we need to actually see what the reason for shorting the stock in the first place. So the first reason I think that bears would want to short 3D Systems is its sky-high valuation. It has a price-to-sales ratio of 21 times trailing 12-month sales, a PE ratio, this is trailing, of 208, a forward PE ratio of 75, and a price-to-earnings growth ratio of 4.4. So no matter how you cut it, bears are definitely fueled, and it's very attractive valuation to short because it's very high relative to other stocks in the marketplace. Second reason here, acquisition practices. The company is a serial acquirer. It's acquired more than 40 companies in the last 3 years alone, and it has no plans to let up now. It's aggressively pursuing its market opportunity, and as a result, there's a high risk that the company can mismanage and not realize as many synergies as it expects. It could potentially lead to write-downs, or it could lead to just a general underperformance in terms of the company's operating results. So another good reason to short the company. And the third and final reason is skepticism just surrounding 3D printing in general. There's been a lot of hype in the media about the potential and possibilities with 3D printing, and as a result, expectations could be ahead of what's actually realistic and what's plausible with 3D printing right now today. So those that are shorting the stock believe that expectations are ahead of themselves. Definitely another good reason to short the stock. So why has there really been a change of heart then? Why is short interest declining if these are such good reasons? One reason could be that 3D Systems is continuing to assert itself with all its acquisitions as a leader in this space, and it's really such a diversified player now that it's leaving no stone unturned, and it's really pursuing its market opportunity from all directions. And the second reason is the industrial uses for 3D printing have really gained traction in the second half of this year. What I mean by that is there's really a boom happening in aviation. GE, for example, is planning on investing tens of millions of dollars in growing and improving the 3D printing supply chain to meet its level of manufacturing scale. I mean, when the company is trying to print 45,000 fuel nozzles a year, you really need printers that can handle that level of scale. The current generations are not quite there yet, so the company is investing in growing and improving the technology to benefit itself. So the 3D Systems actually owns Phoenix Systems, which is in the running for part of GE's scale-up plans. So going forward, short interest is a great thing for investors to keep an eye on because, as I noted earlier, it could influence returns and help determine investor sentiment. Going forward, I would definitely watch for extreme levels of sentiment shifts to determine the collective sentiment. Right now, the company is still very heavily shorted with 16% of shares outstanding being shorted. So I wouldn't say we've reached that extreme level of bullishness. If it was like 1% of shares outstanding, I'd be certainly concerned about the stock price of 3D Systems. But right now, I think there's still a healthy amount of bearishness and skepticism surrounding the company that I think we're in a good place with 3D Systems right now. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Steve Heller, and Fool On.